the forthcoming club to be chartered soon. I am really happy to be here with you tonight, and I'll be listening keenly how Uganda, grow Rotary. So that is always an interest to me. So welcome aboard, PDG Ken. Looking forward.
Thank you so much, DG Yazeb. I've just been finishing my fellowship and I'm ready to speak to my friends, brothers and sisters from Rotary Club of Jabali Information.
All right, thank you very much, DG, and welcome, PDG Ken. And I think now it's time, Kennedy Gaia, our president-elect, will introduce our speaker tonight. Over to you, Kennedy.
Thank you so much, SK, and I know PDG has already said hi, so I'm going to introduce him in the fewest words possible, and where possible, I won't repeat whatever is on the screen and probably what you've already seen in the flyers that were being circulated. So PDG is known as the Mission Green District Governor. He was the most outstanding governor in the whole zone, that is the African continent, during his year, and won and broke all records at that time on several zonal awards, starting from membership, the Rotary Foundation, Endowment Fund, Bequest Society, and he did amazingly well. And he has also served as the Assistant Rotary Foundation Regional Coordinator. The Alake of Egubaland Yoruba Kingdom gave him the name Ken Omoale Mugisha, meaning our own has come. So today, as we have Ken Mugisha here, our own has come to us. He is the director of Parapet, the largest cleaning service in East Africa, and a real estate property mogul. Despite his very busy life, he's an ardent Rotarian who walks the talk. As a president, he was voted the best Rotarian in his district by then 9211, and he was able to grow membership in his club by over 60 new members, and that made his club, Rotary Club of Muyenga, the second largest club in Africa as of that time. He has given over $50,000 to the foundation, as well as bequeathed part of his estate to the foundation. And in those few words, I don't think anyone is in a better position to share with us what Rotary is and can mean to you. Ken is married to Judy and has 2 children. Thank you so much, and Ken, feel most welcome.
Thank you very much, my namesake Kennedy. Allow me to recognize protocol, and I would like to recognize my dear and special friend, DG Azeb. My friendship, I think, has been exhibited with my presence at all our trainings, both in Nairobi and Addis Ababa. And I'm looking forward for a fantastic year coming from a fantastic and fine woman I've ever met in my life. I'm so honored and deeply interested in addressing this club, because the moment Kennedy approached me, I've known Kennedy as a Rotractor for so many years. He has been my friend, and wherever I am, he has been reaching out to me, maybe because I inspire him in so many times. But today I recognize him as a person who is moving and transitioning, having taken that responsibility when Rotary International, under the new changes, agreed for Rotarians to have Rotractors join clubs, but in fact even to belong to both being Rotractors and Rotarians. So Kennedy and all the members have been keenly following your Rotary Club information, and I can only say that I see the future of Rotary in that Rotary Club. The average age being 60 years, I believe we are going to see a very strong and vibrant club coming from this club, Rotary Club of Jabali. And I believe our district governor might be the lucky one to charter that club. And I hope by that time, I should be able to create time to come and join you to charter. I am so happy that many of you, young as you are, you contribute a lot of energy by coming to this club, but we also have a lot of hope, because seeing young men and women, young professionals and leaders in their businesses, starting a new club with a composition of over 40% Rotaractors, again, we see the future of Rotary being in our hands, like part of the themes. Now, today I was invited to talk about my Rotary story and journey. My journey started in 1996, the same year when PDG Emmanuel Katongole joined the Rotary Club of Muyenga. For me, I was younger than him by almost 10 years, and we were working together in a group called the Sembole Group. I was the sales and marketing manager then. He had a lot of interest. We were very close friends in me, and that is where my Rotary journey started. Many of you, I tell you that by that time I was a hunk. When you look at me without hair, that is not the way I look like when I joined the Rotary Club of Muyenga. I had that rich hair called the French cat, and indeed, I was the youngest member of the Rotary Club of Muyenga. The average age of that club by then was almost 55 years of age. So I was looking forward to how I could impose myself on these leaders in their businesses and professions, but to make my presence felt in the Rotary Club of Muyenga. It was so boring. We never had after fellowship. And indeed, I was seen as a young man, and I believe from the looks of the members of that club, they were saying, this young guy joining our club, will he be able to pay his dues? Will he be able to support the Rotary Foundation? Will he be engaged in this club? Or is he going to be like these projects, people who join Rotary for different reasons? I've seen many young men and women who join Rotary when we know we are going to Houston, and they're joining Rotary to get visas, to go and disappear in those streets in Houston, Texas, USA, and never to come back. For me, I came in as a committed Rotarian to prove them wrong. During my first year as a member of the Rotary Club of Muyenga, I contributed $1,000 to become a Paul Harris Fellow. The second year, at the age of 28, I gave $9,000, and I became the youngest major donor in our district at the age of 28, having given $10,000 to the Rotary Foundation. The attitude changed in my club, the looks changed, and the reception. And the people who were doubting me became closer and closer to me. They became to be the people to receive me in fellowship. They engaged me into different committees, and that is where my leadership started as a young man, as a new member, to impose myself on those people who doubted my credentials, my purpose, and the reason why I became a Rotarian. So mentorship is very key for Rotarians in the way we tell and invite our friends. I'm so happy that having a composition of over 40% Rotaractors, you know who we are, and I know we are looking forward to a very strong and vibrant club. I know as Rotaractors, you need a lot of fun and fellowship. Your fun should be respected. My son, when he came back from the UK from university, I told him that you must find a Rotary club to join. I'm so happy that today he joined a club which has a lot of resemblance like your club, a club of young Rotaractors who transitioned from Rotaract into Rotary. Today, Rotaract is a new membership type with the same rights like Rotarians, with so many powers to participate in global grants, to start as many programs as possible, but also to be independent to start different Rotaract clubs. Indeed, our Rotary International President-elect Jennifer Jones is telling us to think big and dream big. We can only dream big when we invite young leaders and professionals into Rotary. Because your leaders in your professions, your leaders in your businesses, many of you are architects, you're lawyers, you're engineers, and you mean a lot to humanity. For me, I believe the sky is the limit. Friends, the more advice I can give you is you need more bonding as Rotarian. With the club information, you have seen the challenges in Rotaract. These challenges, you should turn them into opportunities when you start a new Rotary Club. I hate one thing of gossiping in Rotary. Cliques in Rotary, they don't build, but they just destroy. Rotarians, we are equal in our own rights. We pay the same dues, and we should be accustomed to the ways we operate as an organization. We must respect each other, irrespective of your classification. Even if someone is a plumber and another one is a minister in Rotary, we are equal the moment you enter that room in fellowship. We pay the same dues, and indeed we get engaged at the same time. And at times the people you feel are not ministers participate more by committing more time in their club fellowships, but also reaching out to communities where they identify needs in those different communities, using their time and resources to come back and exchange ideas with clubs. I know that journey I've talked about is a journey which is going to bring joy to many of you. Friends, we shouldn't forget that we have an obligation. One thing I've always observed ever since I joined my Rotary's journey is that I've never failed to remit my dues, because that is Rotary's #1 internal obligation. By payment of dues, you have that feel of belonging. Everyone will understand how serious and committed you are in serving humanity and paying to serve. Because indeed, in Rotary, we are never paid, but we pay to serve. That every time our resources are put into good use, and these resources are the ones which have transformed humanity in our 7 areas of focus. Now, as a club information Jabali, I see many of you, you're so youthful. When I look at many of the faces online, they just give me joy. And I'm so happy that this journey has seen me make connections and networks in Rotary. As a governor, I led a campaign of Rotarians in business. Because as a businessman, but a Rotarian for the last 27 years, it has given me that feeling that Rotarians, when we see opportunities, we must support each other. These opportunities should never be taken outside our Rotary family, but they should be used to engage Rotarians in empowering them, increase on their resources and incomes, because we understand that 2 of our biggest assets in Rotary are membership and our Rotary Foundation giving. We cannot give more to the Rotary Foundation if we don't support each other, if we don't see our businesses thrive and grow, if we don't see Rotarians wherever we see opportunities as lawyers and architects. We are middle income, middle class Rotarians who do a lot of construction. We should do a lot in supporting Rotarians on supermarkets, pharmacies, hardware stores, many others to support their professions, the engineers to engage them whenever we have projects at our workplaces, but also within our own families and within our own businesses. Friends, this journey has seen me when they talked about one of my businesses where the current district governor is my partner, a parapet. We met in Rotary when I'd gone for Rotary International Convention in Barcelona, Spain. I never stopped making friends, has been one of my biggest assets in Rotary. Paul Harris in 1905, when he started Rotary, it was all about networking. The first project to be undertaken by Rotary ever since it was started was done in 1907. And that was construction of a public toilet. Today, because of the good things we've done, we are like a magnet. We are attracting so many people into joining Rotary. We used to knock at people's doors. Things have changed around our districts. Our districts are the fastest in growth in the world. It's because people now are knocking on our doors. They're seeing us as a brand, as Coca-Cola. And indeed, we're like Mercedes as Rotarians. Because good quality, attracts quality. Back in the days, Rotary was for a few, and indeed they never did enough to grow Rotary. The theme for this year being served to change lives. Our Rotary International President Shekhar Mehta tells and reminds us that each one should bring one. I know this campaign hasn't produced the results we desired. Our growth by today could have been over $2 million. We are seeing ourselves growing to 1.4. Again, that is a very good gain because our growth has been stagnant for the last 27 years I joined, being with a membership of between 1.1 to 1.2 million Rotarians. But amongst them, for my friends in Kenya, We also have those Bure Rotarians. Bure Rotarians in Swahili mean Rotarians who are so proud to put on a pin, but they don't add value to organization, and they just put on a pin as a pride. Fellow Rotarians of Jabali, I'm looking forward to see each and every one of you, when you're being chartered, to at least raise something from our foundation. My journey has taught me that every year we increase our giving. The Board of Trustees of Rotary International keep on upping our game. Last year, our giving was supposed to be $410 million. We surpassed that goal and raised 440.7 because we make the impossible and we make things happen. To be imaginary depends on who you are and how you take it. It will be a very good Imagineer if each and every one of us supports growth in our clubs by bringing a friend, bringing a relative, and bringing our colleagues at our workplaces. We are going to be imaginary when we don't add to your Rotary Club, whereby you're not bringing in more helping hands in your club, and you're not bringing in more giving hearts. Giving hearts are the ones who are going to take us in the next 3 years to an ambitious goal and campaign, where we must grow our foundation giving from the current $1.2 billion to $2.025 billion, under a campaign called 2025 by 2025. That journey begins from you and me. As club information, many of you, I believe you have those debit cards and credit cards. In the absence of debit cards and credit cards, you always carry cash in your wallets. Can you use your cash you carry in your wallets to do meaningful product programs in our countries? Kenya, I believe the challenges you face today are the same challenges we have in Uganda. Many unemployed youth and many women who lack resources to feed their families and educate their children. And in this, we'll never have peace if at all we don't address the issue of the youth and the unemployed women who every day work so hard but never earn the necessary or desired income to feed their families and give them better health care. As a new club, I identify needs in our communities. Myself, I never tire. And those of you who join my social media program or platform, you see how I'm engaged every day. Today, I spent the whole day in the Parliament of Uganda. As a board chair of the Ministry of Health in the fight against malaria, I believe I must commit a lot of my time, share my time with my businesses, because mankind is our business. Many of you, young as you are, I know you're going to share part of your resources, raise a lot of income for our foundation by reaching out and being innovative to those non-Rotarians who say they don't have time yet to join our clubs. My message to you, that in your journey as a Rotarian, be the example we expect from you, that those who are not giving to the Rotary Foundation, give that smile you can see online for DGEAZ by reaching out to our relatives, our big brothers, our employers, and telling them about the so many programs we've done in this world. Storytelling is the only one where people can come out of their books and think about the so many things I've done and the unheard of. We have had different campaigns in Uganda: construction of the blood bank, the cancer ward, starting the Heart Institute, promoting the environment, and many others, including equipping hospitals and schools. You can do the same using Rotarians. As a president of my club, I remember I made that club become 100% Polaris. But at the same time, I talked to 7 of my friends who became Polaris Fellows. The 8th was another friend who had the resources, and I used the power of asking, and he became a major donor to the Rotary Foundation, giving $10,000 to the Rotary Foundation. So as people starting a new journey, you must make sure that you're selfless in everything, committing a lot of time, reaching out to people who can help and people who can make a difference in our clubs. As people have young families, you should look at my example. I was only 27 when I gave my first $1,000 to the Rotary Foundation. At the age of 28, I had given $10,000 to the Rotary Foundation. By telling my story, at that time, $10,000 could have bought me a very good plot of land in a very good and posh neighborhood. I never thought about being rich or investing it in a piece of land or upgrading my car to a newer and better car. I could see the women who could walk 20 kilometers for the next water source. I could look at those children whenever I'm passing their homes, playing around at school time, because their parents, either because they're being orphans or their parents could not afford to take them to school, leave alone being drunk and spending the little they have, seeing the future. Each and every one of you using that example. You can be very good examples and you can make the world a better place. Rotary is the biggest organization I can talk of. When we talk about accountability, we've been rated by Charity Navigator, which rates charities in the United States, but all over the world. And over the last over 10 years, we've always been #1, receiving the highest star ranking. I believe when we are starting the Imagine year, we should say, imagine this club, which has just been chartered, is doing good to humanity. It is bringing programs which are promoting economic empowerment to communities, taking water to the Maasai, doing good by equipping hospitals and schools, promoting peace, and many other interventions in our 7 areas of focus. I believe each and every one of you has decided to take this lifetime commitment. You're going to live and stay. We shouldn't have projects in the clubs, but we should have committed Rotarians. When we started a campaign in 1988, which was about a pandemic which has just broken out, and that was polio. Many people never believed in us. Today we celebrate Africa being polio free because of actions of Rotarians or the World Polio Fund, but also continuously every week save something and to put in that basket, which boosts your giving to the Rotary Foundation. Today, we have only 2 nations, Pakistan and Afghanistan. And we have started and acting this hearing on a promise, starting in 2022 and ending in 2026. We believe by that time, we'll be able to celebrate announcing a polio-free world. Each and every one of you has a role to play. We took a commitment of raising $50 million. We have received an international partner and friend, Bill and Melinda Gates, who have committed to give $100 million. So out of our goal for this year, we were supposed to raise $430 million. Bill and Melinda Foundation have already made their contribution of $100 million. So we need $330. Friends, never complain that COVID is going to stop you. It's during this year, when we had COVID, and last year, when we had a goal of raising 410, Rotarians rose above everything. They gave more, and we gave 440 million, which means that we make the impossible possible, and we make things happen. When you're giving, never undermine whatever giving. A vaccine, when we started that campaign against polio, would cost less than $50. When you donate $1 in your club, you'll be looking at saving 2 lives and 2 children from that paralysis of polio. When we are talking about giving $100, I lost my sister and we buried her on Sunday. She died in a hospital in Japan. And the cost of embalming her body was $11,000. That's embalming alone. And that one never included the air ticket, which was $15,000. And the bill we had for the last 2.5 weeks at a cost of $5,000 per day. But when I looked at you, I said, I must give an example because you're young leaders and you're people who must be interested in sharing these stories. The $11,000 we paid for embalming the body, I converted it using the foundation. And when I was speaking at our district officers on Saturday, even before I went to church, I created that time because passion is part of me. for humanity. I calculated a modern sewing machine. It costs $100. Now, $11,000 could buy 110 sewing machines. My sister left a will, and she said people should never open her coffin. And indeed, we never opened it from arrival to the church and until we had our last farewell. For us as a family, we managed because we had to move up from one coffin, which was like a box, to at least a decent coffin to give her befitting farewell. Now, looking at those 110 sewing machines, because she said we shouldn't open, we could have done the simple embalming. And you could just imagine 110 families, what it could have done to them using those sewing machines. To the mothers who use those sewing machines, they can earn an income and revenue to educate their children. The income they get, they can feed them. And indeed, they can improve on their health care. And at the same time, we could have buried my sister very well and decently. These are part of the stories we should tell to make sure that we understand that if we don't do it, we'll do it. Post-COVID, a lot of crime is going to increase. What programs do we have for the youth, the unemployed? People who wait for us and waylay us at our gates. Are we going to commit ourselves as a youthful Rotary Club into doing more? I know as young men and women, you come with fresh ideas, fresh energy. And I believe that energy you carry every day and the ideas you have to carry every day should make you people of action. Don't look just at a few. Don't look at Kennedy as a person who is so passionate. No, we carry the same passion, but we just relax. In this world, we should never relax until everyone has water, until everyone has decent living, until we have fought disease to the last, until we promote peace in every corner of our world, until we give hope to the hopeless. Friends, I have to leave time for you to ask questions, but I believe your journey is going to become more and more interesting. You're going to make friends. You're going to reconnect with your old friends. You're going to improve your business careers. You're going to improve as professionals and leaders. Rotary gives you that opportunity to shine. And indeed, the sky is the limit. I wish you the best. Mungu awabariki.
Thank you, PDG Ken. Thank you very much. I wish to invite Gaia to moderate the question and answer session. Okay, I'm not sure Guy has stepped out for a bit. So I'll step in and invite questions. I think we've, the reason why I'm still loading is because that was a challenging address. I think to say in the most brief words, that was quite a challenge thrown to us as a new club, but also to each and every Rotarian or Rotarian to be with us this evening. I almost questioned the much that we do and the much that we don't, and the passion that we as Rotarians the passion, the concern, and the amount of work that we can do for our communities. Thank you very much, PDG Ken, for such a good challenge at the start of the month, but also for us as a new club, as we shape our culture and shape the club that we want to be, but also the challenges ahead of us in terms of growing our club, growing our individual giving to the foundation, the power of asking, and also every day asking yourself, what can I do? I've seen some people texting the numbers as you're speaking about them, and I think it's a proper challenge, and thank you very much. So should you have a question, put it on chat or raise your hand like Mutia has done, and we'll give you a chance to put your question through. So we'll start with Mutia. And then anyone else, kindly put your hand up or put your question on the chat. We have about 15 minutes for question and answer. Mutia, over to you.
Thank you, SK. Thank you, PDG Ken, for that wonderful talk. And first, I think my condolences about your sister. And indeed, we shouldn't relax until we can give up to the hopeless in our communities. So my question is, by the time you're joining Rotary at your tender age, which most of us can identify with, I just want to understand, how were you able to suit yourself in a Rotary club with a maybe average age of around 50 years? Maybe you can walk us through that journey and how you were able maybe to cope with that.
Thank you very much. When I joined that club and when these people, I could see there was no growth, I said, I know the reasons why people were not joining that club. From the reception I received from them, I knew there was a problem in that club. And I knew, and I took it about myself, that I should be the person to bring change in that club. One of the things I knew why young men were not joining that club, because there was no fellowship. There was no networking after fellowship. That fun we enjoy in Rotary wasn't there. I took it upon myself and bought a PA system. And after fellowship, I introduced dancing after fellowship every Wednesday. That after fellowship, we went outside, I brought in a DJ, played music, and we could dance on a Wednesday. The young people who wanted to join Rotary started flowing in like hell. And indeed, they say this is the Rotary we want. We need to have that fun. We are young, we are energetic. And within no time, our club had grown. So if you lose hope, then you cannot be a person of change. If you insist that you're part and parcel of the change, then you can make a difference in your club. I was never intimidated by anyone because I joined in my own rights. I paid my dues. No one was in charge of my life. I was in charge of my life, and the rest is history.
Thank you for that, PDG Ken. I'm getting a question on, during the introduction, Rotary Club of Muyenga was said to be among the biggest clubs in the district. And yes, I've seen quite a number of photos as I follow you on social media. The question is, how does the leadership keep 100+ Rotarians engaged in the club? How do you ensure that you do not have Rotarians sleeping off, or as you mentioned, Bure Rotarians? How do you keep 100+ members engaged in the club?
I'll just tell you an example of this year, where we have grown from 122 members to now 170 members. But we have another set which is going to be inducted before the end of this year. But we insist on quality. Our club, because we became 100 Paul Harris giving when I was president, we said we shouldn't go backwards. We should be a big brand like Coca-Cola, which emphasizes quality membership. All the members we've inducted this year, each one has paid $1,200, $1,000 to become a Paul Harris Fellow, and $200 to meet the obligation of payment of their dues for RI, district, and country. We are one club which owns equipment for a band, whereby within our own Rotary family, we also have people who play the keyboard, the guitars, who sing so well, and we bring them from other clubs, and we have that event every month using our own equipment, which were bought and donated by a member of this club. The sound system I bought when I was a president is still there, and that sound system plays other fellowships. So we dance on a Wednesday. Those who leave early. Those who stay longer, stay longer. But it brings us together. It gives us that opportunity to relate, understand each other, to network, and make long-lasting friends. So the engagement is always there. We host so many home hospitalities, very, very interesting home hospitalities. But we have that care, that love within us. We are so proud of our club. We appreciate our members. So everyone is looking at being a member of Rotary Club of Muyenga. When you're introducing me, Kennedy, you said I made that club become the second. I took it to become the biggest Rotary Club on the African continent. Again today, we are in that position at 170, still we're the biggest Rotary Club on the African continent. And we believe we are going to attract more Rotarians of quality, not projects in Rotary. You know, friends, I can share with you as young Rotarians that we find so many friends who are joining Rotary for different reasons. Others are looking at finding men in Rotary. Others are looking at getting visas to go in Houston and disappear in those streets. So we come for different reasons. Now, for you as a Rotractor, look at those beautiful seeds which you can put in the ground, and the following day they have grown. And what do I mean? People are going to last. People are not going to shame you. People are going to be committed. People understand that we're here to save lives and make a difference in people's lives. But along the ways, fellow Rotarians, there are also benefits along the way. The value proposition we give to our members, if we support them in everything they do, everything is achievable. Supporting the foundation, promoting people's business can lead them to invite others because they know there's a benefit which will come. But what brings us in Rotary is service, but along the way, the unseen benefits which keep Rotarians together.
Thank you very much, PDG Ken. Follow-up question on the same is, how did you cope with COVID and the lockdowns? And how did you manage transition of the club and membership of the club?
It's very interesting. The moment I talked about Rotarians giving more during COVID, we became innovative that even if there was no fellowship, for us, we could join in on Zoom. And by joining on Zoom, Rotarians continued giving to polio. They continued giving to Sergeant at Arms because it is the one which runs the club. I've never seen Rotarians give in my club the way they gave during COVID. That every week, people were giving. But because people, when they had the resources, because we couldn't fly, the money we could have spent going for holidays was available because Rotarians were dependable. We could see the challenges. We didn't want to see people go hungry. We look at disasters happen every year. We say that even during COVID, we shouldn't cry and mourn. We shared the little we have, and combining it together, working as a team, our club was never affected during COVID.
I think I'll give a chance for one more question. I have one more in the chat. PDG Ken, I think what's your experience 26 years on? And I think more and more, I'm not sure how you started off, but more and more we see you spend a lot of time in Rotary and other non-paying voluntary assignments, say that the engagement with fighting malaria and others. So how do you manage, or how did you start off in your 20s and early 30s, managing between your commitments in Rotary, your business, and I don't think business was any easier then than it is now, and also family. How did you juggle between all the three and other life responsibilities? I'll give a chance for one more question, if any, and then we'll close the back. PDG Ken.
Thank you very much, Samuel. The answer is passion. When you're so passionate about anything, you create time for it. And I've learned that this passion, which will never go away, but will keep on growing and growing and growing every day. I've had to be innovative in the way I run my businesses. And one of the things I've developed and I appreciate is respecting systems and putting up structures which can sustain my businesses, even in my absence. I travel a lot. Yesterday, I just received an appointment of being the moderator for the African leaders in Rotary training in Johannesburg, South Africa in June. Again, another appointment to be a trainer for the Zone Institute in Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire. I'm going to Arusha next week for my district conference. I'll fly from there to join my colleague and partner, Alex Nyaga, to his One Love conference in Diani Beach. Now, in all this, I'm combining Rotary work and my businesses. I have just started a new factory in Uganda. During COVID, I started 4 new businesses because I could see opportunities which could take me from one level to another. I've committed to be a perennial giver to Rotary Foundation. So I have to work and think hard every day. That when I look at these opportunities and when they work and they work well, I'll continue giving and supporting a Rotary Foundation. I'm one person who took a commitment because already in my will, I've donated $100,000 to the Rotary Foundation, bequeathing one of my properties that in case I die, it should be sold and that money given to the Rotary Foundation. So passion is one thing which can propel you to do more, but it gives you that opportunity to think on how you can balance your work and your Rotary work.
Thank you, PDG Ken. Again, a huge challenge, I think, to every one of us. And I think time is never the challenge. Passion is the challenge. I think the final question coming from Grace is, now this passion being for you and you understanding Rotary and the Rotary Foundation and the ideals that you work with, how did you then foster unity of purpose for the whole club? How did you share your passion, bring others along, inject some bit of passion or a lot of passion into your other club members and across the district, and definitely even to across Africa for those of us not in your district, but we look up to you and we listen to you? How did you foster unity of purpose in your club?
Number one, it was through storytelling. You know, by storytelling, you talk about the best practices we've had over the years. And as I told you, people join for different reasons. And our areas of focus are so important to each and every one of us. Myself, I'm so passionate about the environment. I'm so passionate about diseases. I'm so passionate about water. that whenever I talk about water, it's as if you can see someone dying in the absence of water, and you have that feel about the importance of water in our lives. Now, when we tell about our stories, it has fostered unity in our clubs. For people to have that belonging of passion, of a commitment to a particular area of focus, where they feel that I believe I can do something. And friends, because we join Rotary for different reasons. There are some people who join Rotary because someone else leaned on their shoulder. Someone of them, so many people have been given opportunities to people outside of their families. And they say, when time comes, I'll do the same to others. Because that passion and that mentorship we go through every day, you learn a lot about the challenges in this world. Our foundation is always committing us into different things. Today, we are being told to contribute towards the cause in Ukraine. And indeed, so many Rotarians, because when they watch those channels, CNN and others, Al Jazeera, and I see bodies spread all over streets, they say, I must do something. And this thing endears them to see that we are people of action who have been there for those in times of war, in times of these conflicts, and indeed in times of other things like poverty. Knowing that maybe one time you were poor, and today I've made it in life, you are better positioned to know what poverty can do to someone. So when you come to a club and they tell you about how poor people are and what poverty can do to many of them, including lack of education, people will say that partly I'll commit my resources to giving opportunities to those children who are never educated because of lack of resources. Their giving goes towards such programs to make and have an impact in communities all over the world.
There's no better way than to end it at that. Passion, telling stories, creating images, and passion again. I think my main takeaway is passion is key. And definitely for PDG Ken to be this strong 26 years on, I think those of us who are yet to start our Rotary journey have a lot to learn. I will hand off to Marvin Olayo to give a vote of thanks on behalf of our club and on behalf of our guests. Marvin.
Thank you, Samuel. This was an ambush, but given the very inspirational talk, I would not be short of words to say. Just listening to you, I could sense the passion that you have for Rotary, and this is very evident in the very wonderful works that you have done or achieved in Rotary and even extending to your career and business. And that's testified by the many successes that we've had as you spoke through your journey in Rotary and even in the businesses that we know you to have been involved in. I would say I'm personally really inspired because the one thing you have done, aside from just inspiring passion in myself, you've also made it very clear to me what it means to be a Rotarian, what it means to be in Rotary, in terms of why we are there and why we really need to do more while we are in Rotary. So thank you very much, PDG Ken, for the very wonderful talk. And I hope you will be able to join us during the charter so that we can have your gift, which will be kept in our shelf, handed over to you officially. So thank you very much and continue doing the good job you do. Asante sana. Samuel, back to you.
I'll come. Definitely, if I don't have any engagement, you know, we are in 2 installations. If it is not there, because right now I have over 40 installations, but if it is out of those installations, just wait to see me there.
Thank you very much, PDG Ken. I think we'll send over a calendar invite as early as 2 minutes after this call, just to block it early enough. I see DG Azeb also wants to mention something. DG.
Thank you very much. I always appreciate the talk given by PDG Ken. I've been listening to him, not even during the DTTS, but before then at institutes. So each time there is a takeaway. Thank you, PDG Ken. We really appreciate as you inspire the young generation, the future leaders, because it is important that we prepare them and we inspire them as we walk the talk. So I really appreciate your presence in the district, and it's inspiring really to listen to you. I always learn something out of it. Thank you so much, and blessings to you and your family. Thank you. Thank you, Rotary Club of Jabali information. I'm really looking forward to come to the charter ceremony, and I have already locked it. I have already my ticket, so all is well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, DG Azeb. And also thank you very much for being confirming your attendance to our charter event, and also hiring the district team to join us then. I think we'll end our formal session at that. Quite an inspiring evening. We have recorded this session to ensure that we have a record, and you can always listen to it when you need to refresh what Rotary means to you, what passion in Rotary is all about, and we'll definitely share the link with you. Our customer service team will be in your email one more time to send you the link to this awesome talk. Thank you very much, PDG Ken. Thank you to our visiting Rotarians. We've had quite a number this evening, and to our members. I wish to request a special mention of a good brother of our club and a good brother to me, and Elvis and Gaia, Jacob Sendaola, past DRL and current Rotarian at Rotary Kampala, Rotary Club of Kampala. Jacob, are you around? You could say hello, and please don't fine us for the impromptu request.
Hello, Sam.
Hello, Jacob.
Yeah, nice to you, and thank you, PDG Ken, for the inspiring message. I am on the road, so I might have missed a few words. Was I asked to do anything specific?
No, just to say hello.
Okay. And I think I've done that very well. I'm also here with Assistant Governor Moses of the Rotary Club of Chambogo, and we have fully enjoyed this fellowship. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for joining us tonight. All right, members and guests, just before we finish our fellowship tonight, a few announcements from the Rotary Club of Jabali information. We meet once in 2 weeks, and our next fellowship will be on 18th of May, and we'll be discussing money matters, specifically on home ownership in the context of Nairobi and what is called Nairobi metropolitan area. So look out for an invite to our next fellowship on 18th of May. Besides that, we have quite a number of activities happening behind the scenes. Our service projects team is assessing our first project, focusing on the environment. So they have a project visit this Saturday. You may contact Kennedy Macau on the number on your screen. Yeah, I've always wanted to say that. So I'm hosting TV. Yeah, on the number on your screen. And also a couple of activities happening at committee level. Charter party. Our charter party is coming up on the 30th of July, 2022. It's a Saturday. The event shall be from 6 p.m. To later in the evening or to later in the night. We request you to block 6 p.m. Saturday to 6 a.m. Sunday, and also block the rest of Sunday to recover. So yeah, our charter party is on 30th of July. We have a committee handling the planning. The chair of the committee is Ben. And we have quite a number of subcommittees under the planning committee. And that's coming up very, very well. Starting, I bet later this week or early next week, you'll see posters for the event and promotional materials being sent out by our customer service team, led by Mutie and our secretary, Gakenyi. So be on the lookout for more information about our charter party. However, the date is 30th of July. Block both day and night, and Sunday as well for recovery purposes. I think all Kenyans and even Ugandans understand what I mean by recovering from a charter party. Besides that, we have other committees meeting periodically. With the membership committee led by our president nominee, Emmanuel Terrell. And we also have the Innovation, Public Image and Communications Committee led by our PR or our Public Image Director, Rotary Mutie. So all these are activities happening behind the scenes to make Jabali the club that we all want it to be. So we recommend that you plug in at least one or two of these activities. And this is where you'll meet more of the faces behind Jabali and have the action happening. And definitely, I think the whole experience of building a club is being involved in all the process and the quote unquote getting your hands dirty. So yeah, reach out to at least one of the committee chairs and get your hands dirty. Otherwise, our next fellowship is on Wednesday, the 18th, that's in 2 weeks' time. And at this moment, I'll hand over to our SA team, Melissa. I trust you're home by now. Hey, Melissa. Hey, I'm not sure Melissa is with us. Guy, you're back? Okay. Since our essay is away, so I request Francis Amonde, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Tonight you shall be our essay, and the first is to our essay. But anyway, take it away.
Okay. Good evening, members and guests. So essay is simply whatever we collect for essay goes to sometimes do some of our projects that for us as a club now we'll be doing in future. So you basically say whether you're happy or sad, or if you want to pass some information, and you can give as much as you possibly can. So you can give $1, you can give 2, you can give 10, you can give 50, 100 as we go. So basically that's it. So someone, if you're happy about something this week, you need to share it with us and then send your dollars, happy and sad dollars, to the number on your screen, which is 0728-786-546. So we are going to start with the happies. So if you're happy, please raise your hand. SK, I can see Mutier's hand raised. I don't know whether he's happy or sad.
Mutia is mostly always happy.
Yes, Francis, I'm happy for the wonderful talk from PDG Ken. So just going to give 10 appies from me.
Thank you so much, Mutier. I can see Eric Mugo, SK.
Yeah, I'm happy. Despite starting the week halfway, it's a very good way, and it's a good talk to start a week like this, and also to start the month, also a very good way. So I'm happy and grateful for the speakers of today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any more to SADS?
Let me be the third one. I will give $5 happy. First and foremost for this fellowship and our guests. I think this is one talk I'll need to replay like 12 times, just so that it sinks in deeper. And you know, get an infection of the passion for Rotary from PDG Ken. Second is for the guests who are joining us tonight, DG Azeb for joining us a second time, AG Miriam. I see past AG Benjamin Githai, thank you very much. That was a good surprise. Cyril, our invite is still open, and all our guests tonight. Thank you very much for joining, and please keep it RotaryJabali. And the last $3 happy for all our members. Each day is a good surprise in this charter journey, and so far all has gone more than expected, or more than we expected, and that is thanks to all our members. So $3 happy for that. Back to you, Francis.
I can see AG Miriam has done 5 happy dollars for being silent. I wish AG Miriam could talk. It's been long since we last heard from her. But and I can also see there is 5 silent happy dollars from AG Miriam, 3 happies from Kennedy M for the guest today. We have $1 for the fellowship from Anton, and for the one for the attendance in numbers. DG Azeb has given us 100 happy dollars. Wow, thank you for today. So yes, keep your happies coming before you go to the SAD. AG Miriam, if you could at least say a word. I don't know where you are right now, though.
Thanks, Francis. Well, I had said a word earlier when you were beginning, but again, just to echo my $5 for a great presentation. And I'm truly, truly happy to see a lot of you finally transitioning into Rotary. And I wish you all the best and looking forward to the charter party. And yes, I have blocked Saturday day night and Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you so much, AG Miriam. I can see $3 happy from Melissa for the great presentation. $5 happy from Benjamin Gidai for the great fellowship. I don't know whether Rotary and Benjamin could at least say a word as well.
Thanks. Yes, I can. Just to say that I'm very, very happy to have joined. I know this was a surprise, but I came to learn through it. You know, there are so many networks within Rotary. So very happy to have listened to PDG Ken. Always inspiring, infectious, and the message of passion really went down very well to each and every one of us who joined, and especially to the members of the Rotary Club of Jabali Information. So I hope that you'll manage a very big number during your charter event. Thank you, and have a good evening all.
Thank you so much. Yes, we will manage the numbers. I can see $2 sad for having joined late. Melissa, I think you need to share why you are sad. Now you're moving to the sad side.
Hi, Francis. Yes, so yes, for unforeseeable reasons, I had to get home a bit late, so I joined a bit late, but I also got to hear a very good portion of the presentation, and it was actually very great and insightful. And yes, that is why I am giving my $2 sad.
Sorry about that, Melissa. I think I need to hear Anton. Anton is silent. I'm wondering, he gave Happy's, but he's silent. So Anton, can you speak wherever you are?
Hi, everyone. Thanks for the talk, PDG Ken, and thanks for the attendance from everyone. And $1 sad for the weekend is over.
Anton, I saw that coming. Eva, your hand is up.
Hi, everyone. I actually typed I'm happy. Two happies, one for our guest, PDG Ken, for sharing his inspiring story. I think now I'm feeling a bit more confident. Being a young person, I can still make an impact in the society. And the other one for AG Miriam for joining us today.
Kennedy M, could you please say something? Okay, seems like Kennedy M is not with us. I'm going to give $5 happy for today's guest and even for everyone who joined us. And also give $2 sad for, yes, the long holiday has come to an end and it is crazy. So Samuel, please take over.
Okay, it feels completely weird. Francis calling me Samuel. I almost wondered who that is. Anyway, thank you everyone for joining us tonight. This, as mentioned, we have recorded this session and it shall be uploaded on our YouTube page, and a link shall be sent to you via email, or those of us in our WhatsApp groups, you'll definitely see it there. Asante sana for joining us. Thank you very much, PDG Ken, for joining us this evening and being our guest speaker and sharing your passion with us. I'm sure we'll see the results of that today and many days ahead for our Rotary Club information. And with that, I thank you all, and together with all the Rotary clubs represented across District 9212 and District 9213, I give you Rotary and Rotaract the world over.
Rotary and Rotaract the world over.
Rotaract the world over.
Santeni sana, our DJ. This fellowship was hosted and sponsored by Solutech Limited. I mentioned that there are drinks right at the entrance. So as you go out, please see Mutie. He will share the drinks. And he also has DJs from Solutech playing for us this evening. Asante sana Mutie for hosting us, and looking forward to future